Today, we'd like to discuss how deep, almost always unseen physiological stress is affecting our lives and how we have all been conditioned to accept lies and nonsense to serve other people's agenda. We are going to be drawing on the work of several authors, which you all, especially the skeptics amongst you, should check out. If you value wellness and a fulfilling life, stay open to this short presentation. Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto has proven that water crystals are affected by words, music, thoughts, intentions and prayer. When we are conceived, as an embryo, we are almost all water. Our mature bodies are 80% water. So not only how we talk to other people is critical, but also what we think about them and our intentions for them. And of course this applies just as much to our self-talk. Does yours convey the message of loving yourself and self-acceptance?
Biologist Bruce Lipton has demonstrated that our cells are far more intelligent than we ever imagined. At the last count, apparently, we have over 100 trillion of them. The signals that go into and come out of each cell have the primary role in how we function. The science of this process is called epigenetics and completely negates the brainwashing to which we have been subjected.
Such as the political gene, tipsy gene, the criminal gene, the fat gene, the animals feel no pain gene and the lie down and let them walk all over you gene.
You made those last two up.
I did, but only the last two. No doubt they will soon be fed into the mainstream. We are no more prisoners of our genetic blueprints, and we are prisoners of the illnesses and diseases which we are told visit us at random, because of our parents, how we live a certain kind of life or are getting old.
We are led by many advocates of conventional medicine to believe that the only answer to healing is drugs, injections, radiation and surgical procedures.
Yes, if you are going to have conventional treatment, allow yourself to accept it. If you convince yourself that what you are having is harmful, then guess what? It will be. Healing Code co-author and conventionally trained Dr. Ben Johnson has declared our bodies are designed only to process organic materials. So as prescription drugs are not organic, they have side effects.
Honest representatives of those who make prescription drugs will confess that they more often than not don't know how their products work. And yet energy healers are continuously told to prove what they do works.
We know what we do works. And here is something else. Our view of ourselves and the world has been promoted for centuries as selfish, competitive, atomized, materialistic bystanders who will only help others if we calculate there is something in it for us.
New and old research has proved this stance is not only false, but scientifically and morally bankrupt. Not only are humans hardwired to help others, be compassionate, perform selfless and loving acts, but so are animals.
We keep coming back to the mythbuster. That is, always ask who benefits? We all know deep down that human and animal nature is the opposite of that portrayed in the media, taught in schools and mouthed by compromised or spineless politicians. Energy healers and their clients are waking up to the realization that it is the toxic memory in our cells that creates stress. The early toxic cellular memory can be triggered by all kinds of events in later life.
Yes, it is now accepted by even the Harvard Medical School that stress contributes to around 95% of all illness and so-called accidents. If we trigger early traumas and make it worse by believing lies about ourselves, we can end up in a permanent state of fight or flight.
As if we are hypervigilant about non-existent threats. Being continuously anxious about the future, and fixated on our past problems. Like a sprinter waiting for the starting pistol that never fires.
Fight or flight is necessary for our survival. Without it, we would never be able to respond to real threats or react appropriately in cases of emergency. However, being like that all or most of the time is a recipe for a life of depression, illness and tragedy.
Being in permanent fight or flight mode makes massive demands on our immune system. The immune system is our body's greatest user of energy. So it doesn't take a genius to work out that dumbing down the immune system on a regular basis will lead to breakdown and illness or an accident.
Let us put all this together. If you doubt the existence of cellular memory, do your research. Tell me how it is possible that those who receive organ transplants can undergo personality changes. How they can taste the last meal eaten by their unfortunate donor. And tell me how one of my clients told me, when I described cellular memory to her, said,
"My God, that's when I acquired a conscience. I had a blood transfusion."
So, the memory in our cells, some of which comes from our parents, which explains so-called genetic factors in illness, disposes us to life in certain ways. The more toxic cellular memory we have, the more likely we are to go into fight or flight mode,
and not even know it. Most of the time we react this way automatically. Clearly we cannot carry on functioning without having periods of healing and recovery. Our natural state is one of wellness and healing. We heal and recover all the time, and especially when we sleep.
Want the technical terms? Our nervous system has two components. The emergency or fight or flight mode is the sympathetic nervous system. The maintenance, healing and recovery part is the parasympathetic nervous system.
We obviously need both. However, guess what the combination of unknown cellular memory with wall-to-wall misery and non-existent threats peddled by the media is doing to us?
We are all unique. Immune system breakdown affects us all differently. That's why some of us might get cancer, some of us arthritis, or some of us depression. Want the good news? We can reverse this.
What was that about lies? And what about the 5% of illness and accidents not caused by stress?
Who told us we are unlovable, useless, incompetent, undeserving and worthless? This corrupted and life-hating view comes from our conditioning and will resonate, if we are very young or stop paying attention to our true nature, with toxic cellular memory. What about the remaining 5% of illness and accidents not caused by stress? It comes from the cellular memory of our parents.
So, if we clear toxic cellular memory, we can change our lives?
Permanently. And before anyone asks, we are not creating a case for a life without problems, betrayal, sadness, grief or loss. We are saying that we can recover from such events more quickly and stop the downward spiral of apparent victimhood and powerlessness.
And our true nature?
Let me close with a quote from Marianne Williamson, a speech which was supposedly made by Nelson Mandela. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Inspirational. Now we have no excuse.
In truth, we never did. It's just we have been believing in things that never served us. And the toxic cellular memory which has informed those beliefs has remained hidden. It is time to reclaim our birthright.
I've just drawn the obvious conclusion. If we have cellular memory from our parents, then they have this too from their parents. So we have cellular memory from our grandparents. So if you think about it, we all have cellular memory from all down our ancestral line.
So every one of us on the planet has, however distant, the cellular memory of everyone else. How profound is that?
When we heal ourselves, we heal others. When we heal others, we heal ourselves. What a wonderful world.